USCL is literally the S&P 500. Like it
Mhm.
literally holds the S&P 500. It writes in covered calls, but it writes index calls. So SPX call options. That's the difference, number one, between HYLD and USCL. HYLD, if you look what's inside on their website, it's a combination of multiple Hamilton ETFs. There's the two biggest ones are SMAX and QMAX. SMAX is kind of like a concentrated S&P 500. QMAX is like 15 technology stocks. So
Yeah.
they're actually holding the stocks themselves, the individual
Yeah.
stocks, the Apple, Microsoft, blah 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 blah. And it's kind of like more or less it translates into an S&P 500. It kind of follows what it does. But USCL is literally the S&P 500 index, and that's the first difference. The second difference is that USCL is not hedged to the Canadian dollar. HYLD is. So in essence, if the Canadian dollar gets weaker and versus the US dollar, so the US dollar is getting stronger, which it has been doing in the last 6 to 12 months, that's going to benefit USCL and hurt HYLD a little bit because you're holding them in Canadian dollars, both of them, but they're investing in US listed assets. So there's some currency implications there. So that's exactly why I have both of them. I like both of them. I like both Global X and Hamilton. I like the strategies. They're very, very similar. The management fee is the same. They're writing covered calls on it. They both have 25% leverage. But HYLD, I personally will always compare to VSP, and USCL, I will always compare to VFV because it's
Oh,
not
okay.
hedged to the Canadian dollar. Those are really the main differences. But for me, the way I look at it, HYLD and USCL are like a unit. They're like twin brothers or twin sisters, and
Yeah.
together the combination for me makes up my S&P 500 exposure,
It
which is about
completes your
30%.
it can balances it out. It completes it, right? So
You could say it balances the currency risk out. So if
yeah.
Canadian dollar gets weaker or stronger, one's going to benefit, the other one's not.
Yeah.
It kind of balances out. So I don't have an equal weight between the two, but
Are you trying to
it's
equal it
there.
out?
It might be getting there, but they're both, for me, they're both S&P 500 exposures.